is a very popular piece which is called out there, which is Amazon's flywheel. But what's happened more recently, as you see in the following slide, now there are more points of entry into the Amazon flywheel. So other than what you saw, lower prices as being another point of entry, we have an Amazon Prime, we have an Amazon Instant Video, Kindle, Audible, Amazon Go, Amazon Spark, Amazon Pay, Amazon Wardrobe, Prime Air, Alexa. There are so many more points of entry into this Amazon flywheel, some of which are visible like this and some of which are not so visible. So when Amazon gives you a lot of, let's say, storage space, it's basically Amazon Web Services, or for the sellers, it's AWS Marketplace. Amazon has a media group which is close to $2 billion now on advertising. There's Amazon Payment, so on and so forth. And more recently, they have Amazon Westrom. Now, what they're doing is it's more like an API, which is like it's connected to food ordering. So they're not serving you food as much as the Amazon Prime member is able to order food via, let's say, Amazon restaurants, which probably is tied up to the restaurant. So sometimes Amazon will also know what are you eating right now or would like to eat in the next 2 hours. So if you look at it as a result, what's really happening is Amazon is amassing data. It's taking all of these inputs as well as the outputs, because not only are you searching for something, you're then clicking and giving an output. And as a result, if you look at it like a weighing scale or a balancing scale, it takes all of this data and then translates that into superior shopper value, in the sense that it will give you the right personalization, it will figure out where to stock the stuff so that it will deliver to you the fastest, it knows what to promote, etc. So the key thing that Amazon is doing is grabbing or gathering tons and tons of this data, and in exchange for that data, they will produce superior customer value. And that seems to be paying off. When you look at stats like, 55% of shoppers start their product search on Amazon, or you look at, the Prime members now in the US, estimated close to 85 million Prime members in the US. Mm-hmm. So customers seem to be starting their journeys, signing up on Prime, as well as the market seems to be rewarding Amazon, right? So if you look at Amazon's market capitalization, it's probably greater than the sum of these five put together, namely Walmart, CVS, Costco, Target, and Best Buy. And Amazon continues to invest, right? So they're investing very heavily in their private labels. So we've seen Amazon Basics. They are investing in the private label on the household front. So they have these snack items called Prime, Wickedly Prime. They have something around, the household cleaning, which is called Presto. And then they have a thing called Pinzon, which is for all these, towels and bed sheets and stuff like that. They have a line called Mama Bear for, kids related stuff, and a huge investment even in the area of fashion. So I think they have a significant run rate on the fashion side online as well. Now, besides doing a lot of this private label, they have made tremendous investments in delivery. They are now supposedly, this is pre the acquisition of Whole Foods. They are supposedly 20 miles away from 45% of US household in terms of an Amazon fulfillment center. And this is 45% of US household, but it's strongly believed that this is close to 2/3 of true buying power. They're also now at a store near you. So we've seen this Amazon Whole Foods, and this is actually a picture from Amazon Books. They've also tied up with some other retailers like Kohl's in the US, Kohl's with a K, where you can return your items to Kohl's that you may have purchased from Amazon. I think they are now at least doing some relationship with Myers in Australia, at least to sell Kindle or such devices. And most recently, they bought 5% stake in Shopper Stop, which is, I would kind of say, India's Macy's of sorts. So again, they're trying to go to the urban, better, should I say, higher spending type of households. So they are kind of being very visible in a physical presence as well, increasingly. They're also investing heavily in Amazon Business. I think in the first year, Amazon Business, which is aimed at businesses buying online, was close to $1 billion. I think this year they might do $5 billion. They are probably the second biggest investors or putting investments in media, that is television programming, or what do we call it, these serials and what have you. After Netflix, they are the second largest. They are, I think, the world's biggest R&D spending at 16 billion, more than, in fact, many auto companies also. And most importantly, they have a very, very customer-obsessed culture. They have had humongous ramp up. Like in Seattle alone, they've added 40,000 people over the last 4 years. Yet they structure themselves in very small teams, which are very well qualified folks, mostly in the 23 to 29 years of age. They work very fast, very cohesively, and are very, very tech oriented. Now, as a result, if you see this quote, I think puts it very nicely. It says Bezos says, if we can keep our competitors focused on us while we stay focused on customers, we'll turn out all right. And that seems to be happening, right? So they do all of these things, and the market seems to want to play catch up. Now, in the past, and when I say in the past, this was probably 5 years ago, I would say this was what retailers were doing then. So if Amazon shows up with a gun, they were probably showing up with a sword. So they were probably not very well equipped. Today, though they may be not offensive, but I think they are at least showing up with the right tools.